Hi everyone, it's Terry here from nutsaboutsstamping.com. Dashing Deer is one of the most popular bundles in the holiday catalog, and judging from the number of hits on my first video showing you how to use this bundle, I can see that you love it too. How do I know it's the most popular bundle? You might be thinking. It's because I'm able to track the orders that come through for my online store and see what products are ordered, so that's how I know. So today I'm going to show you how to create a second Dashing Deer Christmas card idea, one that has several added elements to make it really eye-catching. So you're going to want to listen along as I create this card, and I will be sharing some additional tips along the way that you can try if you want to take your card to a different level. My card is going to be a little bit basic, but with these eye-catching elements, not so much. My card base is going to be Whisper White. I've cut it 11 by 4 1/4, and I scored it at the 5.5 mark, and it is going to be a landscape. No, it's not. It's going to be a portrait layout. To that, I'm going to add a piece of Twinkle Twinkle Designer Series paper. So here's my first tip for you. I don't know if you're aware, but Stampin' Up's holiday catalog has been so popular that some of the Christmas products are sold out, and Stampin' Up can't get them fast enough from their supplier in order to give you enough time to make them for Christmas. So basically, they've turned off the ordering button. If you want to know which supplies are gone for good, head over to my blog. I've got a blog post about it. But my tip for you is to look at other Designer Series paper you have in storage. I have a Designer Series paper box. That's where I put all of my big bits and little bits. So thumb through them and think to yourself, what else can I use for Christmas that would be beautiful as well? So hence the Twinkle Twinkle Designer Series paper. So I've cut a layer that's going to be on top of my card base. And what I want to do is take one of my Layering Circles framelits. It's quite a large framelit, as you can see. And I'm going to cut a window into the Twinkle Twinkle Designer Series paper before I adhere it onto my card base. Let me just get this lined up. Oh, I have got my magnetic platform, my bottom standard cutting pad, then I've got my Designer Series paper with the circle framelit on top, top standard cutting pad, and run it through. Now I'm not done with my big shot quite yet, but I want to show you the very large window that I've cut into the Designer Series paper. And there is a reason for that. Now the other thing I can do, of course, is keep this circle that I've cut out and use it on another Christmas card idea. So let me just put this aside for a second. And I have taken 2 of the deer images from the Dashing Deer stamp set. And what I want to do is I want to ink them up and stamp them down onto a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock. Now I chose Night of Navy as my ink because Night of Navy and Whisper White are the 2 colors in the Twinkle Twinkle Designer Series paper. So I want everything to be color coordinated. So I'm going to ink up deer number 1 and stamp him down, or her. And then I'm going to ink up the second deer. It's a little bit smaller deer. And I'm just going to stamp it above the first deer. Now I'm going to bring back in my big shot, and using the same sandwich, what I'm going to do is bring in the 2 thinlits. I think they're thinlits from the Dashing Deer bundle. Here it is here. They're called Detailed Deer Thinlits dies. So there are 2 thinlits in this pack that line up beautifully with the 2 deers that I've already stamped. So let me do that, and then we'll run those through the big shot and die cut them out. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Top standard cutting pad. Lay it down and hold it in place as you run it through. That way there's no slipping and sliding, hopefully. So there's deer number 1 and deer number 2. But I'm still not done with my Big Shot. This is why I love the Big Shot at this time of year, is I can run through a bunch of elements and create some pretty stunning Christmas cards. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to create a phrase for the front of my card, but instead of using a stamped phrase, I'm going to use one of my Merry Christmas Thinlits dies. So, before the video began, I took the Merry and I lined it up on a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock and cut around it, like a frame around it, and then to the back of it, I already attached a piece of the multi-purpose adhesive sheets. I love these sheets. You get several in a pack and they last a long time and they make super duper sticker elements for the front of any kind of project you're working on. So I've got the Merry, and then in the Detailed Deer Thinlits pack, there is this little, it's a corner element. I did the same thing, took a piece of Whisper White, put the multi-purpose adhesive sheet on the back, and let's run these through the Big Shot to create some additional elements. I'm going to run it forward and I'm going to run it back because these are pretty detailed. So anytime I have detailed framelits or thinlits, I usually run them forward and back. So now what I want to do is poke these out from the paper and get everything ready to put together to complete my Christmas card. All right, I think I have everything all laid out and I'm ready to complete my card. So I'm going to turn the Twinkle Twinkle paper over and add some snail adhesive around the back. Now, if you wanted to, a little tip for you is that you could add some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of this paper and actually lift it up off the front of the Whisper White card base, and that would give it an added dimension. I'm okay with it being the way it is, but that is another tip for you to try. The next thing I want to do, I didn't have them ready, is I want to attach my deer, and I'm going to use some mini Stampin' Dimensionals because I do want to lift these little guys up off my card, and I'm going to place them inside the window of my card. So I'm going to put him or her right there, and then I've got my second one. Now another tip for you is that you could make a stamped or you could make a torn paper kind of snowbank for the back part of the, like on the card base. You could add that so that you have like a snow scene. Oh, my Stampin' Dimensional didn't work, hang on. So you could create like a little snowscape on the back. There we go. I don't think I can do two things anymore. I have to stop talking. All right, so now let's add this deer here, like so. And then I'm going to add my Merry down here, and that's very simple to do because all I'm going to do is peel off the adhesive sheet backing, and it turns this phrase, this word, into a sticker. It's really sticky though. And with this one, you have to be just a little cautious that you don't stretch the phrase. Okay, and so I am going to add the Merry, like so. And then I've got this other corner piece. Now let's do something fun with it. I am going to cut it off right here and separate it right here. So I took the one piece and I created two pieces, and now I am going to, this one's got the sticker sheet came off when I separated it. So I think what I'll do is I will create, maybe a nice little element for the outside. Not sure how I want to do it. Maybe I'll go over here. Yes. So I'm going to put a swirl there, and I'm going to put the second piece up here just to add some additional interest to the front of my card. Now the other thing you could do is you could cut out several more of these, die cut several more of them, and you could come all the way around the card. Let me show you. The Detailed Deer bundle is on page 9 of the annual catalog, but if you look on page 8, that's what they've done on this card sample. You can download this catalog over on my blog as well, if you don't have a paper copy at home. So you can do it all the way around. For me, I'm happy with the Mary as it is to just keep a couple of elements. Click like if you like this idea as I'm building it, and add comments underneath. I would love to hear from you, and you can tell me what you like about this card and if you would plan on making it at home. And then the last thing I'm going to do, because I like sparkle and shine on my cards, is I am just going to add 3 of these adhesive backed stars, because there's stars in the Designer Series paper, the Twinkle Twinkle. So I just want to pull it all together and add a little bit of shine to my card. And it is complete. It's ready for a phrase inside. Now, another tip if you want to bump it up just a little bit more, I've got 3 ideas for you. You could add a strip of the Whisper White baker's twine, the thick baker's twine, and make a bow at the top for Whisper White. We also have Night of Navy. You could make a bow or a knot at the top. And we also have this fabulous gingham ribbon. So you could do a bow somewhere on the card or another knot at the top. Add in the comments which you would use. Would you use the Whisper White, the gingham, or the Night of Navy? And whichever one seems to be the most popular, I'll add it to my card and share a second photo over on my blog. So if you'd like a list of everything I used to make this card and the measurements for the layers, please go to my blog, www.nutsaboutstamping.com. I have a newsletter that I send out every week that you won't see projects like on my newsletter anywhere else. So if you would like a weekly newsletter that's free with a lot of project ideas for you to make at home, please subscribe. You'll see a link on my blog. And if you want to place an order for the products I use to make this card, I'll make sure that I add a link to my online store down below in the comments section. I'm Terry. I am Nuts About Stamping. I hope you create something beautiful today too. Bye for now.